What's going on, traders? Welcome to it. Let's get down and dirty into the trading action. I know that you guys are ready to get started, so let's go ahead. See you guys in the chat. Where are these guys at? Tick, tick. The trades are coming. Let's go.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas law, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher.
Joy.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part? It's beatable.
What's going on, traders? Let's go ahead. Let's get right to it. Let's bring on the guys here. Ryan and Zunaid, what's going on?
What's up, man? Good morning to you, pal.
Let's go ahead. Let's get right to it. Let's get to the stocks. I am still lost. I will tell you guys that. At least in this market, I don't know what to pick. And there's going to be times where I feel like I'm in tune with the market. Right now is not one of them. So I will let Ryan and Zunaid lead here at the gates. Let's go first to my man Zunaid. What are you looking at?
Yeah, just kind of checking out AMD real quick. You can see the pre-market lows are around 118. So that's definitely an area where if we do get a test of it, we can go ahead and check it out for some long side. Let's go ahead and take a look at the SPY. Hanging out right around 432 or so. Could possibly see somewhere over 434. I mean, this market, we were down, what, I think 3% in futures at some point, and now we're kind of coming back up. So just checking out some of the levels. I believe Lucid reports today. So perhaps we see a break, but if we do, over 27 could be an area of interest for me on Lucid. But again, keep in mind, I do believe they report later on today after close. And then for Microsoft, just going to keep an eye on this level right here. The 298 seems to be resistance. Over that could be interesting for a long. And you can see 292 acting as support so far. You can see the bounce there and the pre-market lows right there. But that's what I'm looking at so far on those tickers.
All right, I'll go to Ryan next here. What do you got for us, Ryan?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, I wish I could make sense of the market for you in a couple of sentences, but I'm not able to do that. I still got some things to watch for. But I got to start off by thanking Berlin, born to be. In fact, I'm going to get his handle wrong. He knows how to come up with a seasoning blend, and I used that on the chicken this weekend, and it was unbelievable. So Berlin, really, really appreciate. Good looking out there. Thank you very much. As far as the market goes, I definitely, the SPY seems to want to go back and forth, right? We still seem like it's very choppy. We're dealing with all of these macro headlines coming out of the conflict in Europe and all of that. I can't make sense of all that. But what I can do is try to trade very tactically around that. I am absolutely going to be looking for day trades today as long as the VIX doesn't start spiking out of control. I know we're above 30 here. As long as it doesn't start spiking out of control, I'm going to be looking for relative strength against the actual market. I pulled up the movers tool here just to give a couple of ideas before the pre-market opens here. This Mullen, M-U-L-N, this is some type of electric vehicle automotive company. Feels like a pretender, but we're up 45% in the pre-market. This might get a little jiggy, if you will. So we'll watch this and see if any day trades set up. INDO, this thing has been an absolute wild card the past few days. Looks like it's starting up here again this morning. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then I see a number of people in the chat mentioning TDOC. TDOC here trading up almost 10 points in the pre-market here. Jay is saying TDOC squeeze, question mark. We might actually get a squeeze out of TDOC. So this would be one to watch. I believe that the options also are pretty popular on this one. Otherwise, I'm going to be watching how tech responds. I'm going to be watching the SPY, and I'm going to be watching the VIX.
All right, traders, we're going to see what happens this week. I like I said right off the bat, guys, I'm not in tune with the market right now. At least I don't feel so, because everything that I expect to be going on up isn't going on up, and everything that's going on up isn't what I expect to be going on up. So when I get moments like this, I know there's a lot of traders out there that say, well, you got to be more reactionary and not try to guess so much. But that's just how I look at things, right, guys? I'm looking at rotation, trying to understand rotation. And when I don't understand the rotation, instead of fighting against my understanding and just losing money, just giving it up, like, here you go, take my money, just continuously, there's a point in time where I'll give one trade away. I might even give 2 trades away. But after a certain time, I'm going to start keeping my money in my pocket and realize that, hey, if I'm not in tune, you need to be careful. Sorry about that, Hendricks. As you can tell, he's not feeling in tune either. He just hit something on the ground. He said, you know what? I'm out with this market. I feel the same way. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look. I will give you guys some insight, though. Later this week on Wednesday, I will be having PubM CEO on Money Mitch at 4:30. So Wednesday, look out for Pubmatic. Of course, you guys know this is one of my favorite stocks in the programmatic advertisement business. There's a lot of changes that's been going on between, let's say, Google and Apple. We're going to get to them, but I'll definitely keep an eye out on that. Of course, I'm not in PubM. I won't be getting into PubM this week. Even though I like the chart, I'm going to avoid that because I will be having the CEO on Wednesday. But if you guys want to take a look at it, definitely take a look at PubM. We'll see what happens. Just wanted to give you the insight, at least, that I will be having the CEO on Wednesday. Let's look at some of the stocks today. Of course, oil bouncing back a little bit. Can it get back into the range? This has been straight choppy sideways for a while now. What would get me a little bullish? A move above 2230s will be the point where I could maybe try to capture this and get up for a move. Of course, this has been really choppy in oil and gold also. I mean, gold was going sideways when I didn't think we would get a big pullback, but it looks like we got kind of more of a sell the news. Now it's getting back into favor. So gold is something that we can look at today for day trades. But I'm going to let you know right now, guys, if I do take trades today, they're going to be very small in sizing because I just don't feel in tune. And so with that being said, you can't give too much. Know when to hit the brake, know when to hit the gas is my biggest thing. Because one thing that I can tell you guys is after being profitable, one thing that I realized is that the best way to kind of get to that next level in profitability is knowing when the rotation is going with and against you. To me, in this case, for a little while there, it was going against me. And I'm glad that on Friday, I didn't give money up for the oil trade just because I didn't see it there. And so if you don't see something and you're not seeing the momentum that you expect to see, I think it's definitely a market that you got to tell yourself, hey, I'm not seeing what I expect. It's not following the market. I'm not going to go ahead and trade against that. I'm just going to go ahead and more keep my money in my pocket. This is this type of market, I feel. And I feel like if you're trying to call bottoms, trying to call tops, I feel like you're doing it wrong. But like always, make your own investment decisions, guys, and we'll see what happens out there. All right, BTU is one that I'll definitely keep on watch, of course. This one came back on Friday. We were taking a look. Does this one start ripping back through 17? Keep an eye on it. Of course, coal, definitely in watch. Stocks like Boyle, did we get a natural gas move? Honestly, I don't know what is going to move today, so I'm going to be definitely more in a reactionary state. But who knows? We'll see what we get. Lucid kind of earnings coming out. We'll see if that one can get popping back through 27.55. If that doesn't happen, look for a breakdown through 26 for it to come back down towards 24. I think today is one of those days that you keep a watch on like stocks like Apple. Been watching to see if Apple can come back and get into the 170. The 170 is the area that we broke down major support, and we keep coming back into that area and then not holding up there. Do we get back towards 170 today? Let's say 165s up to 168, or do we break back down through 160? If I see Apple break through 160, I'm going to be very careful with those text names that had huge bounces because they could have huge drops. All right, that's going to be it for me, at least on what stocks to watch. As you guys can tell, I'm not even giving you a trade of the day. Normally, I have a trade of the day. I can watch one stock, and I'm just going to watch to see if it goes in one direction and trade it. This is definitely a market for me that I'm going to go ahead and take off that mentality. Don't need to trade at all today. Really.
And Mitch, I mean, the trade of the day might present itself after the market opens. I don't have I don't have a trade of the day before we start this here. I do notice that the chat is mentioning Bitcoin quite a bit. Bitcoin recently had a nice power move here, just a kind of a power candle on the 5-minute chart, a couple of them. So it looks like we're trading up towards that 39,000 level, 38,770 or 38,800 right now. So I guess watch some of the miners. Here's a miner that I've started to look at here, CIFR. This is Cipher Mining. Pretty decent balance sheet, but I mean, some of the more popular ones here are going to be like the Mara and the Riot. These will probably move around today. I don't like to trade these. I'm with you in this regard. I do see Bitcoin spiking here. Don't really like trading these, but we'll see. Maybe these will produce some technical opportunities when the market opens here.
Yeah, I'm just seeing that one of the reasons I don't see it on Pro, but unconfirmed, what I'm seeing on our lovely Twitter is rumors of eBay possibly accepting. I haven't seen any credible link that I'm seeing on Twitter, just chatter and random mom and pop sites so far, but that could be the reason. Again, it is unconfirmed rumors. So many times we've seen these things and then you see that it was just fake, it was a pump and dump, whatever the fuck.
And we've seen other headlines with the Ukraine conflict revolving around Bitcoin. Either, someone's sending Bitcoin, they're trying to use Bitcoin, all of that. So there could be a number of things. I don't see the eBay news here either yet, but absolutely possible. I mean, you never know.
All right, one stock that is moving this morning is the AU swing trade that we possibly could be still holding. I got out of this because I wasn't understanding the market, and that's what I do a lot of the times when I don't feel like I know exactly. I usually get on out, but AU still looking really great from that early buy on. If you would still have it. So we'll see if it gets through 24 today. I definitely would keep that on watch. Another trade to keep on watch is the reopening trade, right? If we're going to get this market move on up, and this is the bottom, I would say keep a watch out to see what happens with these reopening trades. Do you get a pushback on up? AAL, CCL, we'll see what happens to those. Another one, of course, that has taken a big dip is Airbnb, but had a good day on Thursday. We'll see if it gets back through the levels of 156 up there towards 180. The earnings weren't bad, so we'll see if Airbnb can catch that dip and catch some bid after that big earnings report. After, I think it was on the 16th that it started turning around there. So we'll see if Airbnb can start turning back towards the moving averages and getting back above 160. All right, that's it. Let's go catch some stocks from the chat. You guys out there, tell us what to take a look at. If you guys got some stocks, look like Hendrix is a little bit more active today, so you guys might see him a little bit. As you can see, he wants some loving. I think we all need a little loving. What do you guys see the stocks? What do you guys see? Anything in the chat you guys want to talk about? I'm seeing solar stocks mentioned. Larry brought up that Mullen that you talked about. Ryan, and then what other stocks are being thrown in there? Coin. Man, there's still people trying to buy the bottom in coin.
Yeah, and I totally understand that. I myself am actually looking for something on coin. I really like coin.
Why are people so adamant about trying to call the bottom in coin?
Well, because there's a huge potential run here in coin that people feel like, and they want to just kind of get the bottom. I'll be honest. I don't care if I don't get the bottom. I just care that I time it before. I don't want to buy it and have it fall 20%. You know what I mean? This is, even though this is a longer term hold for me, I want to be tactical about my entry. It is it's got a high price tag in term of price per share, excuse me. But it actually has a pretty attractive PE. And in fact, let's see what kind of PE numbers. So we got a forward PE of 24. This is down considerably. I think I would like for it to come in a little bit more. It's just like Mitch, think about it. I know you're not a huge Bitcoin guy, but think about it. If you were going to get Bitcoin, where would you go? Would you really open a Robinhood account to get Bitcoin? I'm going to say you wouldn't. I'm going to say you wouldn't, especially since you're a trader and you have other means of accessing the market. I'd imagine that you're just going to go with Coinbase, and I would imagine that a majority of people would go with Coinbase.
I forgot what was the one that I used when I used to trade Bitcoin, but that was in 2020. That was in 2018. Forgot which one that was, but I got to look it up. I mean, just my eyes. I mean, I personally, if I had to call one of the two, I'll call the other one that a lot of people are trying to call the bottom on, right? Is Hood, right? I think this one has a better potential for return. I really do. Why? Because I think at the end of the day, if it keeps coming down here, I feel like someone's just going to buy it. I don't think someone's going to buy coin. I could see one of the bigger brokerage stepping on up and taking Hood, especially if it keeps coming down. But we'll see what happens in these. I know a lot of people are trying to call the bottom in Hood. I mean, if we take a look at the daily, we're right back closer towards those lows. We did get towards that bottom there, 993s. And then if you look back here on January 28th, we got to 994. So you see how people are going off of that level. They're taking that shot off the 52-week low and seeing if they can get hood to come on back. So I do think there's some people stepped on up here. That's why you see a boost of that volume, right? So there's some buyers in this one. Let's see if we see the same thing in coin. Do we see some recent buy? Yeah, you see it right here, right? And so that's the level that you can watch on for the low to see if it breaks on the downside if you're taking these shots for investments. I'm not saying you're wrong in doing it. I'm just saying that I'm not doing it. That's the kind of thing. But it's cool to listen to at why the big story is there. You guys know I'm always about the story. The story is a Bitcoin move. We'll see what happens. If it's just a favorite and everybody goes to it, then maybe that could be it. But I'm just wondering, do we even get a Bitcoin run this year? I feel like it's too in tune with the market. Let's keep going. Let's get to stocks from the chat. What other stocks are being mentioned? Of course, SPY. Look,
WK Harris is saying, hey, guys, any stocks that have Russian ties that we can take a look at? I'll be honest, Harris, like that's not something that I'm looking for, so I don't have a list prepared for you. But if you have some of those and you want to take a look at those, yeah, why not? Go ahead and throw them here in the chat. We'll take a look at them.
I did hear something earlier. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Are some of these halted? I think there's some of them that are halted right now. So you got to be careful there with that. I mean, just think about it. I know the opportunity presents itself, but if you don't want – if you're like, especially if you're like a day trader and you swing a lot of your account into every position, be careful on stocks that can hold pending news, because then next thing you know that your money's locked up and you can't even use it. If you guys don't know what that is, just look into the T2 rule and look how traders have gotten caught before, where they've, especially like day traders that use like, let's say 70, 80, even 100% of their account in every position. That's an easy way to get your money locked up. And next thing you know, you just don't know when your money's going to be released.
Well, see, and I see Holly is mentioning RUSL, which is one of the stocks that I traded last week. That is actually not halted. That's moving around right now. That's I see prints right now. Same with RSX. So some of these ETFs, these are not companies, right? These are ETFs, and those seem to be moving. I don't know if those would get halted. I certainly didn't feel that way last year. So I think it's just individual companies. You might be all right getting or trading those ETFs. Anytime that you do any of these trades, make sure you don't overexpose yourself and be careful, obviously. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I just want to make sure that everyone understands that. Also, day trading, that you can get your money just trapped in a stock. And I've had traders do that before. And then they're looking at like the market pissed off when it was just really they didn't understand it in the first place.
Yeah, and Greg from the chat here, good shout out. Look at MBT halted like other Russian stocks that trade on American exchanges. So you're talking about ADRs, excuse me. MBT does look like it's halted. I don't see anything here. This is not a stock that I traded before, but yeah, I mean, like I said, just be careful. I normally try to avoid halt tests.
IMPP being called out by the chat. That's not a bad one to take a look at. Interesting chart. Look how this has reacted since kind of the wartime. It's actually gone straight on up. Look for maybe potentially a little bit of a pullback, but it isn't a trend. And so whoever mentioned that, calming sounds, these are the types of stocks that I like to see, right? Stocks that can hold a trend. That's where I feel like you can get swing trades on. It's when you get these volatility stop outs that it's just hard to get around. But yeah, I'd keep this one on watch, even though I don't know the name. Hey, nice one to bring up. Let's keep going. Hendrix pumping that BTC. Yeah, Hendrix hit the pump BTC button. I'm sorry. And now he's taking a nap. So it looks like BTC will be on its own. We'll see what happens there. NIO being mentioned in the chat. I'll keep watch. Today, guys, throw up stocks in the chat. I'm going to let Ryan and Zunaid kind of work their magic, do their thing. I'm a little less, if I do take a trade, maybe it's one trade today. So I'm going to be more for you guys out there today. So if you guys got some stocks to mention, or maybe you guys are taking a look, maybe you guys see a pattern that we want to talk about, mention it in the chat. I will definitely take a look at it today. I'm here for you guys out there today. So today I'm going to hold my money.
Real quick, I'm hearing that E-Trade is having trouble off the opens. Zunaid, let me confirm that for me if you can. These are just reports that I can't confirm, but obviously, you know, like we talked about last week, be careful, ensure that your broker is able to place trades before you try to size into something. Don't make it worse for yourself.
E-Trade Pro so far is working all right.
Okay.
So far.
Okay.
All right.
And by the way, one more thing that we should take a look at here, ticker ABUS. This is a $3.60 stock. We have a why is it moving here? Arbutus Biopharma shares are trading higher after the company and Genevant Sciences filed a patent infringement lawsuit against Moderna. So I'm not sure if this is going to be enough to really cause this to move around. It is up in the pre-market. It is holding. And that, obviously, that's some pretty big news. So we'll see. This might be worth watching today.
Financial services is just getting destroyed right out the gates, guys. Watch for that. It's really getting hit hard. BAC, you can see here getting hit. BS, all getting hit. Yeah, definitely banks getting hit hard. WFC down about 2%. So if I'm looking for shorts, maybe I'm looking for shorts in the banks today. Right off the back, I can see this at least showing up in present. Other than that, seeing consumer defensives up. So maybe you look for what was the stock that was ripping? It was Heinz, HTC, HNZ or something. It was Heinz. I always mess
Square strong out of the gate here, by the way.
Right.
E-Trade web login seems to be having issues for me. Blank page, says Paul. Thanks, Paul. That's very similar to what I had been hearing from people that have E-Trade.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Pro side looks all right, but yeah, the login might be a different issue.
All right, just got an alert for BTU. There you go, guys. That's looking
BTU
interesting.
is still cooking. Look at that.
BTU, guys. I might grab BTU. That's might be the trade of the day today.
Bitcoin next leg up here, by the way. Over 39,000.
Other coal play also CEIX. CEIX. Ah, man, that BTU pullback right now towards 25s. That was really quick there. I was looking to try to grab it, but it was too quick there. Wanted to look at CEIX also. That one's pushing also. I'd like to get that one at 30, 40s. I wouldn't mind. I'll take a shot on that one.
You do have SoFi testing $11. The chat's calling out. Look for it to possibly pop above, then retest 11, and that's where you can go ahead and go long if you like it. But you do have SoFi.
Square with a big breakout, guys. Just want to call that out. Square with a big breakout. So if you guys want to look at maybe some payment stocks, maybe finally it's the time. BTU already ripping there. Didn't catch the VWAP bounce trade. Looking for CIX. I missed that trade also. We'll see if we get a pullback here towards 30.10 or 30.25s. Then I could take a shot in that one. SoFi pushing up the gates. Looks like the trash is moving right now.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of pops in some of the kind of tech names. And then
FSL strong out of the gate here. That was mentioned. Plug, fairly strong here as well. Indo, which we talked about a little bit, looks like it might be starting to curl here.
Big
T-Dot coming in a little bit, but still looking around here. There's CEI. CEI is strong today. Man, Bitcoin's still really strong too.
Technology almost into the green from the open, guys. It's about 0.18 off there. So I'll let you guys know if I do see a industry that's standing out, and it's solar. Solar standing out, guys, significantly. Up already 6% in the intraday. If you take a look, what are the stocks leading it? It's Run right now, SEDG, and Nova. And also SunPower right behind it. Nova seems interesting right off the VWAP. I would look for a 950 push through 975, maybe a move towards 20. BTU off the VWAP now. That's kind of getting interesting for me, but just calling out trades, setups out there.
Tesla really strong. You guys were talking about some news. Did I miss it? Energy clean and dirty will pump off this news, says Riffraff. Tesla is green. Tesla, good news all over Giga Berlin. Elon giving Ukraine Starlink. Yeah, I saw that over the weekend. That could be baked in here. You know, I'm not sure what that actually is going to mean for the business in terms of the whole Starlink thing. I mean, it's really cool, obviously. One of the other things, it's not necessarily related, but kind of similar. We had an exclusive report that ammo.com, Ammo Incorporated, which is ticker POWW, Papa Oscar Whiskey, are going to donate 1 million rounds of ammunition to Ukrainian armed forces. So that's pretty cool. It seems like the world is banding together here on this.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do my best to stay off the comments today because I can go all day.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's doing anything for the stock yet. So
we'll see what happens there, guys.
We'll see what happens there. Yeah.
MRO coming back significantly and fast. So if you want to take a look at that, maybe you're looking at the oil trade that did like kind of a red to green here. That's kind of a look, but I mean, hey, that's up to you guys to determine that.
You've got SQ that's trading above 120. Keep an eye on it. If it can kind of maintain a little bit of consolidation above VWAP, could go long here. Closer to 120, the better in terms of risk off. That's SQ block.
Yeah, MRO pushing significantly there. I'll look for pullbacks and maybe take a shot in oil. Coal looks good too off of that VWAP. I'm just very hesitant today, guys. If not, normally I would have gone after that BTU VWAP bounce trade right there. But with my hesitancy, I'm going to definitely be careful today.
Market catching here?
Oil, is it finally really waking up? That's the real question. Because it is starting to push. I might take a shot in it, but I'll tell you right now, guys, I'll be probably very tight with this.
So Foot Locker strong. Looks like it's trying to go into the gap here. This obviously traded down considerably after earnings. Looks like we're trying to take out the intraday high from what, Friday? Yeah, we're above that there. No position in Foot Locker, just looking at setups.
That TEL stock that we were watching last week is doing pretty well today. TELL.
Was that the same one that I'm thinking of? No, Tellurian.
That looks good.
Yeah, what was the deal here?
I think this is an oil play. This is, I think, a refinery, but I'm not 100% certain on that one. But it did look good. Remember, we watched this one push to 350s. 350 is good support for it. All right, MRO
here today.
MRO, guys, I'm going to look for a pullback to VWAP here for a VWAP bounce type of trade. Would not want to take it up here at the beginning. Would need to pull back. If it just rips on out, then we just got to let it go. And that's just how oil trade has been. It's not been making a pattern. So it's hard to read. I know I don't want to just jump in it here, even though it looks good with the good volume. If you look at some of the trades, you'll see them XLM, MRO. They're all type of moving, but the question is, can I get some pullback to get in here? I'm not going to just jump in at the highs. All right, let's look at the sectors. Energy is the only thing from the open at the into the green. Right behind that is utilities and then basic materials. After that is technology. Remember I told you technology was almost into the green from the open. It was at 0.18. Now it's at 0.47 from the open on the downside. So moving to the down a little bit there. Oil
CCJ
looks like it's
moving.
Push.
More option sweeps on CCJ. You know, the CCJ trade is funny. There was a huge options trade on this a couple of weeks ago. Zunaid, I can't remember if you were on
we did. Yeah, we talked about them purchasing. I forgot what it was, but I remember. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was the June. Here, I got it here. It was the June 28th. There was just massive sweeps in them. I'm looking at it today. There's 20,349 in the open interest. I can't remember how big the sweeps were. But when that happened, I took some of these. They ended up going like down 40%. I kind of forgot about it. I took it small. I think I only have a few of them. Sure. And here we are. They're back now, and this position is now green off this move today. So
you gotta love it.
All right, MRO got towards that high that I was looking for, which is the move towards 2231s here on MRO. We'll see if we get the pullback to VWAP to get an entry. That would be near 2190s or maybe even slightly below that, 2185s. That's the only way I can get an entry. If it just takes off like this, I'll just let it go. But if you look at the other oil names, you'll see very similar things, right? And so kind of a red to green bottom on these. So take a look at that and we'll see if it happens. Chevron, I did see someone in our chat taking that one. Same kind of look. I would look for a VWAP hold on any pullbacks.
You got Square near VWAP. Let's see what, and you've also got SoFi testing $11 as well. Here,
my long on drip just caught. There you go.
Taking the drip. CLNE just took out a huge seller at 718. And it looks like it's pushing here. I don't have a position in this though. CLNE.
Yeah. Steel having a good day so far also. Mentioned by Jay in the chat. I definitely do think so. Also, Cliff, continued move like you mentioned. And also you could take a look at X. Those have been doing well. And if you want to take a look at the highest capitalization one, of course, don't forget to take a look at NUE, also up 2% on the day already and looking like it's trending.
Real quick on Square, again, if you guys remember, I'm playing around with TradingView and put some money in there and whatnot. I did go ahead and take Square. I got filled, I believe, at 121.25. My stop loss is going to be below the previous close. Below 120 is where you probably should be, but I'm giving a little bit more risk because I only took less shares here, testing out the platform, whatnot. So you can see it right there. Long Square, and then my profit is going to be, let's call it 122.92 on Square. I'll let you guys know if I do get filled. Either way.
I like that one. I like how you waited for it to come back in a little bit too. I think
yeah,
the smarter trade.
Yeah, and then keep speaking of waiting for it to come back in. You can see SoFi now is below VWAP. So I did like it, but I wasn't the biggest fan because the volume started to come down a little bit for me. Not quite interested in this one, but if you are, break of, let's call it 1060, you got to get out. But for right now, not the strongest. To me, Square looks a little better. And yeah.
All right, guys. So levels to watch in the SPY are above 434.50s. I think you get a bullish upside potential move. And then below 428s is a downside move. Calling both ways. BTU really setting on up here on the 1 minute. You got the rule of three completely into play already. Now would need to hold that support. Great trade there. I hope someone was able to nail BTU. That's literally as clean as it gets for me. I'm just mad hesitant today. So BTU, take a look here, guys. As clear as it gets. We'll see if that one kind of continues moving.
Tell moving. That was a good call. That was a good call, Mitch. Tell moved up. We had a high of 85 here. It's pulling a little bit back, but you had first mentioned this. I think it was 375 when we had first brought it up here. This went another 10 cents. It's pulling here, but this might actually set up for another trade. Aaron, flying back to Canada today. Testing is supposed to be more relaxed. We'll see if it turns into a shit show. Keep us posted on that. Good luck with your flight, my man. Stay safe.
All right, CIX, definitely missing these cold trades today. Good trades there. I'm just mad hesitant and I'm a little annoyed, but I'm just going to leave it off.
NRSN ripped through two. This is a little bit of a lower float stock here. This ripped through two, printing as high as 215. It looks like 216. Interesting on NRSN. What does this one do? I can't keep all these straight. Neurosense, clinical stage biotech focused on discovering and developing treatments for patients suffering from debilitating neurodegenerative diseases.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick, if you can put my screen up here, you can see, hey, got filled. I think that's what that red arrow means. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that means. But you can see I got filled on my Square out, so I went ahead and closed the position. Let me see if I can find out where, if it tells me. Sorry, give me a sec. I haven't never really messed with this. There it is. You can see sell limit, bought it. Where did I buy it? There it is. Bought it at 121.25, out at 122.92. So we were able to go ahead and get that. Now let's kind of review why did I go ahead and take that trade. We talked about on Square, hey, look, it's popping. Now best risk reward is going to be closer to VWAP. So we waited till VWAP, then we went ahead and got our fill. And then when we kind of saw that, hey, look, this is where resistance is, so I'm going to be right below it to go ahead and exit, and that's exactly what it was. So I might have to play around a little bit more with this TradeStation thing. I like it. It's fun. the integration of it. But anyway, that's the Square trade. That's why we took it. Risk off was right there, and then you saw the profit there. That's all.
All right, PayPal also in the similar setup. If you wanted to get it for a VWAP bounce type of trade, we'll see if that kind of continues going. It is setting on up. I'm not going to take it. You guys know I'm hands off on Square and PayPal, but hey, just want to call it out there for everybody. I do like the setup though. That's this setup. I'll show you guys. PayPal setup for a push to 111s. We'll see what happens there. I'm looking for an MRO pullback to the support on the 5 minutes. So 5 minute VWAP move would be a push towards 2194s. It's looking like it doesn't want to get down there, but I'm going to be patient to see if it gets down there. That would probably be my one trade on the day. We'll see what happens if it does. BP, I think, is moving out of Russia. I think that was why you were seeing BP kind of getting hit while other oil stocks were moving up, Max.
Yeah, they dissolved their stake or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was.
19%
seems like short-term pain for long-term gain with that one.
Mm-hmm. All right, CEIX getting back to a level that maybe I could take a shot off of, let's say 3040s. But I'll let you guys know if I do take a shot in coal or oil today.
Did anyone in the chat take the Square trade at all? Let us know in the chat, because now Square is at new highs. I definitely went ahead and sold a little early.
It looks
No
like
question.
Wellness Matters took that, I think.
I'm glad I alerted right on that first minute candle. So that was a big pop-up.
Yeah. And we waited for that retest, and then we got in. But yeah, if y'all main thing is, I hope you understand why we called out Square, and then why we took the trade, where our risk off and profit taking would be. Something that I could have done was, instead of selling all of it, sell maybe 80% of my size, and then the rest we kind of let it keep running. But I did not do that. But anyway, hope you guys understand the process at least as to why we took it. I'm glad you brought up cybersecurity stocks. That's definitely something that was on my list. Now I'm surprised. Well, is this the most popular? What is a FireEye? What's the new? Does anyone know? Because I don't think it's called FEYE. Yeah, it's not that anymore.
No, the best in breed is going to be Pan W. That's Palo Alto Networks. So you had said favorite. I don't know if that's what you were referring to, but the best in breed is going to be Palo Alto. This chart's insane.
I'll call out the also CrowdStrike is right on that breakout point. So just kind of keeping that on watch. Just wanted to call it, and then we'll take a look at it afterwards. But yeah, that's my favorite, CrowdStrike. But yeah, Palo Alto is the industry favorite.
Yeah, industry favorite, exactly.
Let's see what the spreads look like on this one.
All right, order out on CEIX, but the spread is a little bit big, so it'd have to fill at 3040s. I don't expect me to get a fill. I think it's just going to break through 31s, and I'm going to probably miss out on that trade, but it's all good. Coal also up. BTU was a beautiful trade. I hope somebody was able to nail that up to 1680s. That's as easy as it gets, I'll tell you, at least in my patterns. That's as easy as it gets with BTU. Three moves on up, and then a breakout too. So you got a good move there in BTU. Look at this CrowdStrike pushing on up there. PayPal is the one that I was looking at, because if Square is moving, a lot of times I do what's called the laggard trade, right? I'm not going to take this because I'm kind of against taking trades against Square and PayPal right now. But if you look at here, so you see Square pop on out right on this candle, right? And so what timing is that? That's right here, guys. That's on this big bullish engulfing candle that you see on PayPal. That's how you take the trade, because you get a leader like Square to take on off, right? You see that big push. You're looking for PayPal just to continue the momentum that you see at Square. So you could literally just be bouncing off of each other's charts and using it. Like, let's say if we were in Zunaid's shoes and you had that Square trade, right? So you could have taken the profits on Square, then use those profits to get into the PayPal, and then watching Square to understand if you're getting out of PayPal. These are how I like to trade the relationships and leader than laggard type of trade. So then maybe you guys can just at least take a look at that, especially if you're like me today, where you're more hands off.
Yeah. Wellness, I'm glad you went ahead and took that SQ trade. Please scale out though, especially if you were looking at trade, don't be greedy. Please scale out. 125 is rejection area just because of the whole number situation. That it's going to obviously come back down. If you missed it, maybe 121 could be an area for you to get it, and then the break of 120, you go ahead and get out.
Yeah, that Mandiant stock. I did see that stock setting up in the morning. What is that one? That's MNBT, I think. Yeah.
I think
was
that's
seeing,
what Fire I switched to. That might be why they responded that.
yeah.
MNBT.
Yeah, that might be. This might be it right here. I would definitely take a look at that chart that's set up. You're getting a nice pullback actually right here. I like these pullbacks. Whenever you're getting a big strong candle and then you get above, look for a hold. Those are called throwbacks. Right now, it might look kind of bearish, but if you take a look on a deeper time frame, like an hourly, what do you see? You see a breakout and a hold right here. Big wick on that hourly, but as long as it can hold kind of that pullback, I would say even 1875s on pullbacks right now. I'd keep this one on watch today. Doesn't necessarily mean you got to trade it now, but definitely it is setting up for a bigger time move on the daily.
Nocturnal Sky is asking, can you take a look at MBIS? I see a double bottom on the daily. Here's what you're talking about. Some pretty good support here. I really think we need to take out 14 to confirm that we want to continue moving to the upside. This is a pretty nasty downtrend that it's been in recently. In fact, it actually goes back further than this. Let's see if we can draw this line out. So pretty nasty downtrend here. The downtrend has been snapped. Looks like it's trading sideways here. So if you think that this is going to make a move back up, first thing we need to do is take out 416, and then we'd like to build above that. Hopefully, then we can actually trade back up here. I know does this move with Bitcoin? I'm pretty sure that it does. Maybe we're having a nice day today because of the pop recently in the morning. No, this is LiDAR. Okay, I'm confusing this with a different stock. In any case, trade plan is still the same, right? You want to trade this against the bottom here, 263. I'd actually probably tighten that stop up quite a bit, but I'd actually just wait for this to take out 416 to the upside.
All right, SPY just trying to push on up there. It's already made 3 highs in this area. I'm going to look for a complete breakout to the 434s. If this doesn't happen, I think we're going to get back closer towards 432s on the downside. Just be careful. I'm definitely getting towards that time where you're going to see a little bit of a change in trend or a continuation move. So look for that to happen here. All right, Boyle at support. I did see a lot of volume going in there on Boyle at the support, but I'm not going to take it. I would want to see it completely pop on out before I would go after it. But I did see some volume, someone taking a shot there at the bottom there. I'll look for that person to get it back on up because I'm not going to. Look at the SPY here, guys. You see, this is exactly what I was looking for, is where we're going to get that breakout above now, above that 434. It's exactly what I was looking for. Now let's see if we get that continuation move. That's through that green level right here, that 434 60s. Look for that continuation. Now I would look for a hold of 433s. Nothing below that if I was bullish.
TEL kind of holding right around that 380 level. Hasn't really moved since we talked about it earlier. Still trying to hang out there. Holding its gains, though. Not a whole lot of volume to speak of. CCJ still working at its highs here. CrowdStrike on my scanner now, Mitch, interestingly enough.
Yeah, CrowdStrike was one I was watching pre-market. I should have kind of give that one out to you guys.
You know,
I was talking about it in pre-market prep.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to run you over there. If the cybersecurity theme holds up here, Mitch, I think a swing as this crosses 200 might work out.
Mm-hmm. That's why I liked it, because the daily chart. And the daily chart, I actually said that today I'd like it better with an inside candle, but I realized that you got the inside candle on Friday. I thought when I was looking at it this morning, I thought that was today's candle, is really that red one. That's why I was looking for an inside day towards 176, 175. Looks like you got that on Friday. You already got that pullback today, 178. It would have been a beautiful level to go off of, like let's say 170s, and you're taking that 178. That's a good level. I like the trade, especially with the volume that's coming into it. Has a story, has outlook. These are the stocks you got to try to find now. MRO pulled back, but didn't give me an entry. So I'm taking a look to see if I finally get an entry on MRO. I'm going to be patient with that one. I'm looking at the 5 or the 15-minute chart on that. So it'd be a pullback below 22s. I'm not going to get too excited early. I definitely need to get the right entry on this one so I have the right risk to return. AMD being mentioned in the chat. Let me take a look there. AMD is pushing. Looks like it's trying to get above the 121s. There's huge resistance right there at 121. We'll see if it gets through this wall. It's literally at the wall right now. You can see multiple highs in the same area. That's here on the left-hand side. Let's see if that gets through that level. 121.20s or a pullback towards 120 20s is fine as long as it can hold that. Get back up there.
Square had tested VWAP, and then it's bouncing from there once again.
Mm-hmm. And PayPal up against that VWAP again. So you could take a look at that. There's AMD getting through that level. So if Square gets through the highs right now, I would look at the PayPal trade. Stuff like that. Literally, that's how I like to trade, guys. The hand-in-hand move. It definitely helps when you're looking at multiple charts versus just one.
Yeah, you've also got the previous close on AMD around 111. So keep an eye on that area for the breakout. But also as resistance as well, as you can already see right there.
SPY rejected to continue ongoing. Now we're going to look for the pullback to 433s to hold. Anything below 433s, just be careful, guys. Even if it holds 433 and it just comes back through the high 434s, that would look bullish. But if it gets below the VWAP is where I'd get a little bit concerned. You can see VWAP sitting right now at 432.96. CENX, CEIX, cold trade, setting on up for a scalp type of trade if you wanted to take that. But I'm not going to take it right now. Today is one of those days. I'm just going to be kind of more risk off than risk on.
You've got someone in the chat saying SQ looks like a good short here. I'm curious as to why you believe that, but let's say if I were to play along, your risk off has to be above 125. So you're risking about $120, $150, give or take. But your risk off has to be above 125. You got to let go of it. And damn, there is AMD. What was I looking at before? Because I thought I said 111 was resistance.
Hey, there you go. Looks like somebody made more than me in AU.
Nice. That's awesome. Congratulations, Jonathan.
That's what I like to hear, man. I don't know how you guys swing those options, though. You guys are crazy. I can't do it.
It's you know, you don't properly manage it. You'll be up watching futures. No,
you'll grow hairs. You'll grow hairs for sure.
Or lose them.
Hey, or they go gray, right?
Yeah, or lose them.
Hey, that's how it is, though. That's how it is in a lot of like kind of risk to reward trades. You just got to have the decision making skills. There's the push in CEIX there. There's the scalp opportunity that I talked about. You could be grabbing this scalp opportunity through that level right there on the top. CEIX. I'm not going to take it here, guys. I told you guys already. But it does look like a nice little setup. Let's look how BTU, if it's continuing to run. That's what you would want to see, right? An industry continue to move in the right direction. So if you're trading CEIX, I keep an eye out on the other cold names. And if I see those turn around and big, I'm going to be concerned about my CEIX. But if I see a continued momentum like you got here in BTU, what happened, right? You got the breakout first before CEIX broke down. It came back. It held the resistance, giving you that good level to go off of. And then, boom, continuation. Okay, let's see that CEIX work. Then you're going after this one. All right, guys. BAC on the pullback. Honestly, I would be probably shorting these, but that's just because my mentality today. Lucid back up there. We'll see if that can continue as a run or not, or start breaking back down. SPY is trying to hold those pullback and take out the high there at 434.60s, but it hasn't been able to get through yet.
You do have. Go ahead. No, you're good.
MRO setting on up here. I'm not going to take the trade because it didn't get to VWAP. But if you see here, you are setting on low, higher and higher lows, which is what you want to see in a pendant pattern. But I usually look for a pullback towards VWAP, so I'm not going to take the shot here. But I do understand why people would take that trade. Going to you, Zunaid.
Yeah, here's Square testing 125, right? I'm patiently waiting to see if it can break above or if it rejects. I know someone said they wanted to take it short. Again, Stop loss above 125 because that's going to be the biggest resistance in terms of near term that I've got. At what percent do you close swing trades? I don't swing as much. I am 98% cash after the market closes, if not 99. So I don't swing trade as much anymore, to be honest. And in terms of when do I take profits and whatever else, I do it wherever I see support and resistance. So I don't necessarily look at percentages.
Got to give a shout out to the chat. They're calling out the Bitcoin stocks. They are taking the hell off, guys. So definitely be careful out there. Don't get the FOMO in you. But HUT, Mara, and for that case, I mean, you can look at the other ones, Riot, BTCM, all of them kind of moving. You can take a look at those Bitcoin type of plays out there. Matty I says, I love gold. I was watching AU to see if it was going to start moving off the VWAP there. I was thinking about taking the 23.25s for a push on up. GOLD is actually on the downside right now, so that's the only thing that was kind of holding me back there. VTU can continue through that level. Next high, running into resistance up there at 17. You guys could have VWAP bounce traded this one in the 30s, getting a 70-cent move. Nice 5% move on up there. BTU, that was a pretty trade. I definitely slacked on that. Had multiple times to grab it at VWAP, but I hope somebody was able to nail it. Let's see if that CEIX kind of scout type of trade takes on off through that 31s. MRO rejecting to get through that high on the fourth time. Remember, I always talk about the rule of three. Literally right here, you got an indecision candle. So below that, I think it comes back to VWAP. Above that, you probably get the breakout. So we'll see what happens here. If it does come back to VWAP, I might take the shot because you're going to get some people that are trapped up here trying to buy into this move. We'll see what happens in MRO. How's the rest of the oil trade doing? XOM off the VWAP. That looks actually a little bit better set on up to come on back up. CVX. Let's look at Chevron. That's pulling back towards VWAP, so just take a look at that, and we'll see if these can kind of pull back here.
Yeah, you've got a BAC that's having some volume come in here. Let me tell you the exact. Looks like someone's purchasing the $47 calls expiring April 14th, approximately $1.3 million worth. If you look at my trading view screen here, you can see that just to talk about the trade and take it myself as well, I went ahead and purchased 100 shares here at 43.65. My stop loss will be low of day, and then my profit taking is right below 44 bucks. So just like Square, you can see that, yeah, I have a position in this just to kind of play around and see if we can nail the second trade or not today. But again, low of day, though, you got to get out. The biggest hurdle for BAC right here is going to be getting above VWAP. So I'm not going to lie, it does look better to go short here with the break above as your risk off. But hey, someone's got money in there that I see, and
SPY breaking
I'm going to take
down.
a chance here as well. And of
SPY
course,
breaking down, guys.
Coming down is not going to help me.
Yeah, it just did that fake out towards the 430s, 460s. So look for VWAP to hold here. If you're kind of in the bullish sense, 433s, I've talked about that level. If you see a breakdown of that level, that's where you really start seeing the flip of the bullish look. So we'll see what happens here.
And real quick, I just wanted to address one of the mentions in the chat here. Francis Core 1982 said, look at TAN. Interesting thing about TAN, I did take a look at it. This is in the solar ETF. I did take a look at that. There was an unusual options print in the April 70s on TAN. There was 128 in the open interest. Someone came in and looks like they bought 1,000 of those. So interesting option activity in TAN. I have no position in this, but this is one to keep on watching. It looks like it's coming off the bottom here.
All right, one that might catch a little bit of a bounce just because of what's going on, and you're seeing a little bit of oil start coming back on up, is BP. But it's in a longer-term bearish pattern, so just be careful, guys, if you're using that kind of to ride the momentum.
I'm going to go ahead and take a riskier trade. I'm going to go ahead and take SPY 435 calls expiring today. One hand got very, very small size, got filled at $1.95. If it breaks, where's the level? Give me a sec here. If it breaks 433, I will probably out of it. If I am wrong, I'll probably end up risking about 30% of this. Again, riskier trade. These are dailies, so
That expired today, right?
that expire today. And again, if you've been watching the show, you know my risk tolerance may be a little different than yours, but I'm just calling it out that I'm personally taking these. And here's why I'm taking it. It's near VWAP. So for me, the 433 is what I'm hoping will be a support. If it breaks below, especially if it breaks 432.50, I will be out. Profit taking would more so be near 434 area, maybe 433.75 or so. Those contracts are break even if you want to go ahead and get out right now.
Kevin just took SPY puts. So we got Kevin versus Zunaid in a cage match at the end.
So talk to me. Why did you take SPY puts, right? Is it because to me, it's right near VWAP, so you're not in a bad spot here, but I'm curious to see why you took that.
Jump in the gun, man.
Well, because for me, I'm seeing VWAP, so it's interesting, right? On obviously TradingView, which you can see right here, SPY is above VWAP. But I will say, if I'm looking at my broker E-Trades, VWAP is at 434 and we're below it. So, you know, different VWAPs. But I am curious. He's running an inverse Zunaid strategy. Hey, you know, sometimes it works out, man.
Hey, Zunaid.
Sometimes it works out.
Hey, I fade Barkley in sports betting. That's an easy.
What about AMC? Miss Whitehorse is asking you about AMC.
There you go, Mitch. You're ignoring AMC. Come on. I got you. Let's do it. Take a look. AMC. Oh, just letting you guys know, somebody just loaded the boat in GOLD, guys. Someone just loaded the boat there. If you guys want to take a look at that one, I definitely take a look, guys. Look.
GOLD?
Yeah. If I see, what is that? 467,000 shares going through on a 1 minute, when the last 1 minute candle was only 84,000. So you're talking more than 4 times the volume in 1 minute. Definitely keep it on watch, guys. Somebody taking a swing there in GOLD. All right, let's go and take a look at the apes here. It's setting on up for a breakout here. 5-minute pattern, 15-minute pattern, also 1 hour pattern. That's when I usually like it, guys, when you get multiple time frames that line on up. It's through the $18 level that you can see the breakout. I could play this for a little scalp here with the apes if I wanted to. It's not a bad little setup if you wanted to take it. So what you try to do is, I would try to be on the bottom of the range that's closer to 775 than 1790s, because you could get a dip towards support and then get stopped out in the stock go even through your level. But I always talk about how when you get through VWAP 3 times, if you can hold VWAP on recovery, which is trying to do literally this second, it's a really bullish move. So now you could use that 775 level as your entry there, and 775 level as your risk there, looking for it to hold after it's tried to break down 3 times.
And Zunaid, Kevin answered you, and he was quite specific. Let me go ahead, and my thing's all screwed up here. Moving average ribbon went red, and he's got a tight stop below VWAP.
I think you mean above VWAP, because if you're short, you're. But yeah, I hear you. That makes sense. I mean, hey, so far you're winning that trade. The break of 432.50 here. And someone else mentioned, hey, take a look at MACD and I assume BB's Bollinger Bands.
Yep.
You're not wrong, right? Like, to me, the more I look at, the more I have analysis paralysis. But yeah, I mean, MACD and Bollinger Bands, different strategies and things like that, right? I'm not saying they don't work. There are a lot of smart people that use them. This is what works for me. This is what I can kind of see, simplify, things like that. VWAP is my best friend, if you will, that I really enjoy using.
I'm feeling a little AP, guys, as you guys see me watch AMC here.
You're feeling a little what?
AP, he said. It looks like it's about to pop over that line, and he's going to get excited.
Yeah, I might just take it right now.
That 1760 would be your risk off.
I'm looking for a pullback to 85 there, and it went right to 87.
What's the spot that it needs to take out?
18. It's a huge level on multiple charts. If you see it
Yeah.
it's not one time frame, and those are the trades that I like because multiple traders are watching this right now. Like, oh, I'm gonna scalp it through. Let's go. Let's
there
do
it
it.
is.
I just grabbed it, $17.99. Let's go. Let's scalp it. Let's hold it to the scalp, right? So the scalp for me is the 85 risk right now. I wouldn't want it to get to 75. That's why I talked about before when I was setting up the trade, how sometimes you can get in here and then it makes a move to the support. You actually get stopped out on that move. Let's see if we can get the continued momentum. One of the keys to momentum is what? You want to see volume kind of drive the action. We did get a little spike in volume, but no big orders filling in here above 18. That's one thing that I look at all the time. Where's the big orders? Can I get a big order to fill above 18? Show me that, hey, all right, some people are taking some shots above 18 here. So for me, I have a filter right now for 2,000 on the time and sale here. So I want to see orders that are above 2,000 here for AMC to look for a big order push. We'll see if we get that lift. We took it on the scalp. We're going to see what happens here. It's only 100 shares, so I don't have to stress.
Because I'm watching this.
The top right now has been 1803. We wicked up there to 1803.
Well, no, the stop. Sorry.
Oh, the stop right now is like 1775.
Okay.
85 for us on the scalp. If you're in a little bit longer trade, I would say 75 is your stop. Because of the support, right? So I can't let it get to 75 because I feel like that's too much risk there. That doesn't make sense. So mine is 85. Close here, test of 85, back above VWAP is what I want to see. Any move below on a closing candle, you got to be careful.
All right, line in the sand here. Break of 432.50 for me on SPY.
You want to maybe throw AMC on one of those? There you go. You have it already.
I have it on the right for you. Yep. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get out. Point for Kevin here. My entry was... What was my entry on SPY? My entry was $1.95, and then I got another contract or so around for 161 because it was closer to my risk-off area, and I am out of SPY at 148. So I lost about 50 cents, 40 cents on that trade.
Some people taking some shots here. I feel like there's 85s and 82s there. A bunch of sizing in between that. So I think there are some people taking a shot here. So I'm closer towards 1780 right now. It's definitely in between the spread right now, the risk. So I'm holding it towards 1780 as in what I call an ultimate risk. Sometimes you guys will hear me say what ultimate risk is. Any level below that, I have to get out because I'm not going to just pay the trade and do more risk than reward here. That's just dumb. So you just got to kind of stick to it. Whenever you're in a fight zone right between my risk, I usually will do a level down below it and then just hold that as an ultimate risk no matter what, because you're fighting the wick right there. The volume is right at the level of risk right now. Got to keep it tight here. Back through 18, I might hit an ad, guys, for a quick scalp out on the trade. So just be careful, guys.
So if it crosses through 18, you'd look to kind of add to it.
I would add to the position. It would make sense for me to add to the position because I already got through the risk tolerance spot, right? Which is a kind of a test of the risk. When you get back through it, of course, anything above that 18, let's say even if we got towards like the 1810s and you started seeing a slowdown, you could just take out the volume there. You just got to be really careful when you're scalping. I know that Ryan knows all about this because he does these often sometimes. So when you're scalping, Ryan, what do you kind of look for on, let's say, time and sales or price action? What are you looking for?
So when I look at time, that's a great question because when I look at time and sales, I often marry it to what I see on the level 2. And what I mean by that is like sometimes you'll see big blocks of sell walls appear and disappear. Same with bids, right? Big bids will appear and disappear. But if you look at the time and sales, those didn't actually cross the tape. Those were just people flashing orders. So what I like to do is I like to see big bidders or big sell walls get eaten and taken out. That tells me that there's that momentum that Mitch was talking about with the volume. And if that's the case, sometimes I can time that angle, right? Like there could be a piece of junk stock. If it has momentum to the upside and I'm watching a seller get taken out, I think that that's going to pop. That buying momentum is what I'm trying to capture. Doesn't matter if the stock sells some widget that does nothing. You know what I mean? So now with AMC, this is obviously a different dynamic here. Here we are, by the way, right through VWAP again here at 1791. According to my broker, VWAP 1791. We're right through that here. We might make a run at 18.
Yep, exactly where I'm at right now. And so one of the things is, if I look at the time in sales, remember I filter out above 2,000 on my big order time in sales. I have usually 3 time in sales windows. If you look now, you'll see a lot of the volume was between 88 and 82. What could that potentially be? And so you at least know the levels where the volume profile is building up. This is volume profile, guys. And so it doesn't give you guarantees if everyone's bullish there, but at least you built up some volume. You built up some momentum here. Now, if you take out the highs, you'll look for that continuation. All right. How's the square and how's the SPY? We take out 433s on the downside. I haven't been able to watch SPY.
We sure did. We're currently trading at about 432.28 or so.
Okay, so a little pullback in there. Did the oil trades rip on up here? Yeah, MRO pushing up there. Didn't get a chance to get it today. Definitely look at that Chevron move. I know there's someone in the chat owning that move, and also XOM with a good VWAP bounce. We talked about that one right as it was doing it. See right up here on the top. Look at that VWAP bounce right there at 77.03. You could have been nailing that right there. 73 cents back up to the highs. Lucid looking strong here out the gates here on the bottom here. Now it's starting to hold that VWAP. Look for it to kind of come back on up there and take it out. SPY is getting a little weak there. We'll see if it takes out the trend line that I have drawn, which is at 432, and makes its way to 428. Still holding the AMC. We'll see what happens here. Where the apes at?
40,000.
Where the apes at?
I'm tempted to join you on this AMC trade.
Right? I know we're live on Twitter. Where the apes at, guys? I know you guys are listening.
It's just hanging out right here at VWAP. It just, the longer it does this and holds it, the more I want to take it.
Oh, Kyle, it was you that had CVX. There you go. Nailing it, man. Good job. There's
Here you are at 18.
There's so many stocks here that it's hard sometimes to remember who puts up what, but that's what it's about. I love when people put up stocks, because as long as you're looking and you're kind of in kind of a realm, you're not just calling out stocks for nothingness. Let's see what happens here. Now we just got to pull back off of that breakout, 1799. But what happened there, right? Look for the volume. Look how there's 47 there on. Looks like on bats, there's about 20 and 46 there at 806. There it is.
18 on AMC. Way to go.
Boom. Just added there. Added there at 1801. Let's see if it can hold VWAP now, 1790s. Looking for that continuation move. We'll sell some into the move breakout, then look to hold the rest of the shares. First sell should be above this first resistance. So into the 1810s is the first resistance. Above that is 1825. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, this one. I'll tell you what, it's fun watching stocks that you don't trade normally. I'm normally hands off AMC, but this one was, you telegraphed this one pretty well. We're definitely seeing a little bit of buying interest here. Took it right through that 18 level, pushing up towards 1810. We'll see if we actually get there.
Now, what do I want to see?
3, 4,
Remember, continued
4, 5.
volume above 18. So if you look at the big orders, 1803, 5,000, 1804, 3,000, 1803, 2,000. So we're starting to get some volume to actually get on up there, right? That's a good sign for us. Let's make sure that we hold VWAP here. We shouldn't break VWAP from this point on. Remember, it also comes into the multi-time frame trade, right? And so the 5-minute chart, look how this is looking now. This is a bullish engulfing
This is great
setup now. And if you look at the 15-minute, what do you get? You get a flag pattern, right? Nice flag pattern. If it gets to the high of 1810s, you can continue making momentum moves. So we're going to look to break through that 10 right now and sell out some into this momentum. There was a big order that just went through there. Let's see the push there. There's the push that I expected with that big order. Boom.
Nice.
Just got
Nice
it out
call
there
out,
at
man.
1818. Now
Way to go,
let's
Mitch. The guy who wasn't going to see. This is what we were saying earlier. You said I wasn't going to trade today, but you waited. The trade came to you. Bang, you nailed it.
one
Great
trade,
trade.
guys, and I talked
One
about
trade.
it today. I just wanted to be kind of in and out, take one trade, and when you don't know, you want to be a little bit hesitant on the gas pedal. There was earlier times in the trades that, yeah, I could have made some good trades, would have made some bad trades, right? Like let's say MRO might have been gotten caught at the top and then stopped out. BTU would have been a good one, but that's how it goes sometimes. There's going to be a mix there. Now let's just see if we get the continued momentum. From this point on, I wouldn't want it to break my 18. I still have half the shares left, but I'm looking for a breakout through 1825. If we get that, then we can take the rest of the shares off into the move. If you wanted to measure the flag for the continuation, you measure the flag and you get 73 cents. So from 18, I would calculate 73 or 75 cents as the maximum potential move for this one day trade. But that's if we get a breakout through that 1825 and you see that continued momentum.
Coin really strong today.
Hourly chart, if it gets to the high of 1827, that's where you should see the continuation move through on the hourly chart if you're using multi-time frames. Let's go to some other stocks out there. Looks like BNZ is calling eBay short. I know they had that rumor out there. We'll see what happens there. I would be careful with that rumor because I don't know if I really would want to play eBay short, my personal opinion, just because it's going sideways and I hate trying to short stocks that are going sideways. I don't know why. I rather get stocks that have weak moves, bounce on up, and then I get it quickly, and then it quickly comes down. I don't like when they come back on up and they go sideways. But, I mean, always you're making your own decision, BNZ, and I know you are. So, I power to you, whichever way the eBay trade goes. We'll see if it gets moving. Of course, the rumors out there being mentioned of supposedly taking in Bitcoin, I'd keep it on watch at least to make sure that those rumors don't kind of actually come true, because I do think that could pop the stock. All right, 1820 showing up there for AMC. I've tried to take my eyes off of it a little bit so that I'm not so like kind of emotional to the trade. And that's what you can do sometimes, right? You can just take your eyes off of it as long as you know where the level are to kind of keep your eye out. So every like kind of 20, 30 seconds, I'll take a look on up. But I'm not going to try to keep watching tick by tick because you start feeling that. You're like, should I just take it? Should I just take it? And if you're telling yourself that, try to always go back to what you originally planned on the trade. So now it's the breakout through 1825. If that doesn't happen, then we could take the trade off. All right, taking a look at some other trades on out there. I want to take a look at the sectors and see what's going on. It's 10:23. Let's go ahead. Let's turn off some music a little bit. Get us jamming a little bit.
Real quick, Mitch, there was another trade that worked very, very similar to the AMC trade. I didn't take this, but here, it's actually MOS. It's Mosaic, right? So with AMC, we were really waiting for it to bust through this 18 level. Mitch, you highlighted that several times. We talked about the VWAP being in the low 1790s, but for the most part, you're talking about this trade punching through the 18 level. If you take a look at MOS, we had the exact same setup today. This stock trying to push, it's a higher price stock than AMC, but this stock was banging away at 50 all morning here today. Finally, when we actually took 50 down, this has gone big now. We're actually moving another 54 cents here. So I know the stock is higher priced, but if you're scalping this, this is a pretty good move. 56-cent move on that area right through 50. So interesting setup. Very, very similar. Reminded me of the AMC trade.
All right, we'll see if this can continue through that 1825. Definitely going to keep it going here. Let's take a little bit of review action. Zunaid, what are you seeing on out there? Do you see anything setting up in tech? I know that you're kind of more a tech guy right now. I'm definitely not taking a look at tech.
Yeah, I've dialed back on tech just because it's so.
Yeah, I've dialed back, and I usually never, but I'm not even looking at them now. I know Zunaid keeps those in watch for us. Are they kind of going sideways, or do you seeing kind of giving up of strength?
I think you've got a little bit of both, right? Facebook, I think, might be the strongest of them all. You see a huge pop above
Nice.
VWAP. But again, as always, we talk about the previous close can act as support and or resistance. Right now, it's acting as resistance right there, the 210.48. If you want to get into Facebook, your best option is closer to VWAP. We say it all the time, around 208.50 would be your best bet. And if you want to get starter size there, and then add low of day as a test, and then bounce back 207.50 or so would be your spot. Below that, you got to go ahead and risk off. You've got also Square that's looking to come back up and test the 125 high of day. I do believe we take that out. You can see the ads near VWAP would have paid off, especially if you risked off below 120. You're looking good there. SPY currently is at VWAP. So if you're short, if you want to go short, this is a decent spot to go short, but above 433.50, you should risk off. That Bank of America trade still kind of hanging out for us here. Hasn't hit my profit target or my stop loss, but that's pretty much all that I'm looking at. And Square is about 80 cents away from breaking 125.
We'll see out some of the tickers that are getting thrown in the chat here.
Yeah, definitely. Take a look for us. There are the apes. Apes waking up. All
SoFi,
kinds of strength in metal commodities.
There's been quite a bit. SoFi definitely pushing here.
Yeah, SoFi. So we talked about, hey, you break 11, then you come back and test VWAP. And then, of course, we literally just talked about it on Facebook. Previous close, acts as support and or resistance. Facebook resistance. SoFi acted as support right there. That's what that pink dotted line is. Acted as support, bounced right back up. Now we're above $11. That is high a day on that 10-minute candle on SoFi.
Always fails when I take my eye off the ball. I know how that goes, Buzz. No worries.
Yeah. And Mitch, you know baseball. There's two rules in baseball. Number one, you have to keep your eye on the ball, and number two is you do not mess with Joe West.
Let's go, let's go. Yeah, he'll definitely like you even look back. You even look back a little weird. You're getting called out.
AMC, that was a beautiful trade, Mitch. I got to be honest.
That was, man. Well played.
Trade.
Let's see if we can get the full extension here. So we're getting the breakout here. As we get through the 40s, I'm going to take half of it off there. I'm just going to let the rest of the trade work towards that 1875 that we call as max reward. Why do we call that as max reward? We're going to look to see if it plays out. So here's the 36. 39's there. I'm going to put out the order right here. Got it. There, 1839s.
That's awesome, dude. Well played.
Yeah,
well
let's let the rest of it work here.
Very well played.
When patterns work, they work, guys. Are they going to always work? No. I can tell you that right off the back. All right, looking out there, Lisa Lee talking about CrowdStrike and DWAC. I didn't see the DWAC. Hut, hike. Yes, you got that one, Hassan. I like it there. Hut is moving fast there. We'll see if that can continue to move. Mara was moving fast too. Lucid Love. Hey, it's okay. Be a dreamer. Take the Lucid. Let me know if you guys get to drive one of those things because, man, those things are pretty expensive. Let's keep going. ENPH been mentioned by Jay Wild. How's the solar stocks continuing to do? I know that they were doing good out the gates, but let's see it now. Looks like in the green, we have utilities and energy at 0, almost unchanged on the day's basic materials. Solar up 8% on the day, guys. This is why I like looking at industries. Very early on today, we looked at solar and we said, take a look at some of these names. And look how every single one, every single name is green, guys.
We also outlined the option sweeps in the solar ETF TAN.
This is why I like trading with industries, because if you can get moments like this, I mean, just think about it, right? I mean, there's so many stocks that are moving up in this industry. It's kind of hard to lose. Like if you lost on a solar name today, I mean, you'd be like, man, I'm doing something wrong. I need to figure out how to attack these. And so this is why I like doing those industry moves, guys, because if you're able to see this and see it continue to move. So let's say if you're trading the Qs, you're trading the Qs against this. You could be looking at the Qs to stay positive, right? If you're trading those solar names, it has stayed positive. It hasn't gone red into the day there. And so those are the type of trades that you want to be looking for. If you're taking those tech names, you look at the cues, you take a look, see, all right, how are those performing? Or maybe take a look at a industry leader like ENPH, industry leader in solar, doing well today. You can use that to find the sympathy plays.
Snap high of the day is good call, Jeff. Snap definitely pushing. Sorry, I had it on
A little OPAD action.
Well, I was seeing that was actually going to produce a trade through 5. I just don't think it has the volume to do that, though.
You and I both, Ryan, and I love that stock.
You like OPAD?
Yeah, I actually did for a very long time. I really liked that one on SPAC's attack until I made money and then lost money on it. So I ended up getting out of the trade.
Yeah, that'll happen. That was just a day trade for me. I don't know anything.
All right, guys, AMC ripping on up there, almost to my profit target of the 75. So we're gonna put actually an order here at 70 because you're getting the momentum. You might get a quick pop up there, and I don't want to end up trying to fight for 5 cents here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put out an order here at 70 to sell the rest of the shares here
on AMC.
1870s. If I get that, I'll just take it.
By the way, you've also got Square that went ahead and popped above 125, trading now at about 126. So there's Square that's gone off. CrowdStrike bounced around VWAP, continuing motion on up for $4 there. And you've got SoFi traded high day on that 10-minute candle, 1140.
Looking for one more pop in AMC. What did you see there? I did see someone sell or at least I would think, at 1857. There's 10,600. Someone just made a good profit. If you sold 10,000 shares there and you caught that 18 rip. So that's a $5,000 trade, guys, just to kind of mention it. So whoever that was, I can't blame them, whoever that was, for selling out at that point versus trying to get the 1870s. Let's see what that big order came in. It actually came in here. There's a 10,100 order at 1818. I think that's the same spot that guy got in and out at 57s.
Which stock are you talking about? I missed that.
AMC. Looking for the big orders, the big boys. All right, time to catch up with the chat. NVIDIA going says stocks for today. So you can take a look at NVIDIA. We'll see what's going on out there. Square, is it pushing through the high there? We got that rise right there in Square.
Square is breaking out here, it looks like.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And PayPal, man. PayPal moved this thing. This was a stealth move in PayPal. I actually feel bad I missed this because
I was trying to tell you, Ryan. I just couldn't take it.
I know. We had what, 95 in the pre-market, and that was on Thursday, right?
Yeah, I just can't take it.
It never looked back, and here we are at 111. So we're
look at that. And that's a push. That's a nice
unreal.
push.
This would have been the play right here.
Nice push there in PayPal. Usually when I can't take a trade, they're usually the best.
Yeah. I mean, this PayPal one, I still think there's more room to go here. I mean, really what interests me is the gap at 140. But even before that, strong move, though, for a really good company here.
Chermo said he made 17% on that AMC. There you go, man. Money.
Good job. Great execution.
Money. All right, we got 1863 watching, guys. Oh, not 863 people watching. Do me the favor, guys. Hit the like on up. That's how you support us, and we stay 100% free. I'll repeat it, guys. There's plenty of chat rooms out there charging for this. We're trying to stay free, and how you do that is just hit the like. That's all we need. So I don't know if we need to do a like subscription, but come on. Just smash on up, guys. Support us as we trade live here for you guys out there. And let's keep it going. Hit the subscribe bell if you're not subscribed. I do see sometimes 30% of you guys watching are not subscribed. What are you doing? You're missing out on all the content. It's not just live trading here. We got pre-market prep, Benzinga live, Money Mitch. You guys don't want to miss that. Hit the subscribe bell below, and let's keep it going.
No one wants to miss Money Mitch. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I give the actual picks out. I mean, That's where I give my ideas out. Sometimes I even get mad at myself. I'm like, Mitch, why'd you tell him that? Let's go. Let's go. What are you searching on for, Ryan? I got you full
Benzinga,
screen, baby.
we tweeted this morning what's on today's watch list. So I wanted
Let's
to
do it.
see.
Check
I
it
wanted
on
to
out. Let
scroll
us know.
through here and see what's going on.
All right,
Oh,
PayPal
man.
trying to take out the highs. SPY went right close to that trend line you see that I have drawn here that I've been watching. Look how it came close to that, bounced off of that. It doesn't want to break down. I can't believe it, but I can tell you right now that SPY doesn't want to break down right now. So that's a little bit interesting. MRO sideways action trying to get through that 2230s. Cannot get through right now. AMC now trying to push through the highs. I'm going to let it break through there. We'll see if it gets on up there towards that reward profit. XOM, probably the best VWAP bounce trade I've seen today. That was a beauty right there. Let's see how BTU's continued. BTU, man, what a move in BTU that we missed out. I hope somebody was able to land that first VWAP bounce out the gates. That was a beautiful 8.3% move in one day, guys. That's a beautiful trade on BTU.
Didn't they have an offering recently?
I think they had like kind of their earnings report that came out, and they kind of
Peabody Price's a convertible debt offering.
Mm-hmm.
What was the?
I mean, look at the weeklies that you're trying to get through. This looks to me like a huge cup and handle now. Huge cup and handle here. The cup, trying to build the handle and get on back up there. BTU is an interesting one. There's AMC trying to push through it. Let's go. Let's go. Can we get our sale up there at 70s? I'm going to look to see if it pops through, get our last sell, and get the hell out.
All right, speaking of which, it's 10:30, so that means I got to start taking my little walk, get my serotonin. Real quick, though, I'm going to recap it. You've got Square. We took this one. As you can see on the charts, it was profitable, came back around VWAP. We tested it, continued its way towards the 125 breakout. SoFi is also high day. Expect that 1150 to access resistance, maybe come back and test 1120s, and maybe even 11s around VWAP. But the best call, I think, was AMC. You called that one out and actually traded it as well around the $18 levels where you added, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you've got 1860s there. But real nice move. I will leave it with this. You see BAC, Bank of America. I wish this trade could end before I take my leave, but we're up about $12 per 100 shares. So, if you're in that trade, hope you understand why we took it, is mainly because we had big options coming in, $1.3 million worth for April expiration. So that's why we're in this trade. But I am going to close this out just because, we're live trading and I'm going to see myself out. So I want to make sure I close this trade as soon as it can sell. And there's a sell there. So appreciate you guys having me.
Money.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Money, baby. We'll see you, Zunaid.
See you. And JD's, no, I'm no longer in SoFi. I took my profit around like 11:30s or so. So no, I'm no longer in it.
Hey, you guys nailed that on up. Appreciate you, Zunaid. There you guys have it. I'll be getting on Ryan on out of here. But Ryan, anything you want to leave on off before you get on out?
Well, I saw some people in the chat mentioning DWAC. That seems to be moving here. DWAC, I don't think there's really any trade until we take out Friday's high of 93.43. That would be the spot that I'm looking at. Probably not going to take this. The big thing of note so far the big thing of note so far today since open, easy for me to say, is the move in solar, right? The solar ETF up 8% here. The April 70 calls had some really interesting action on them. A bunch of other solar stocks are up. So this might be something to watch here with the rest of energy. I know that that's probably going on because of the whole Ukraine thing. I'm loving seeing all of the people use the new emojis in the chat, especially the one of Buddy. That's really awesome. And then as far as the market goes for the rest of the day here today, I love seeing the VIX pretty much melt since the open. That's great. Let's see if that continues here. Maybe that's correlated to the move in Bitcoin. We'll see. So I'm going to be watching the VIX. I'm going to hope that we keep trading back down here. SPY seems a little bit sideways, not bad after the big move that we had on Friday and Thursday. So just kind of watching the macros, and we'll see where we go from here.
All right, about to get that last little sell in AMC. Let's go. Let's go. Can I get it? Can I get that pop through the 70? I'll sell out. I'm looking for the top move being 1875 on the day here. It went right now towards 68. I could have taken 68. I mean, I have the order right there at 70, so I thought it'd maybe click on me. We'll see if we get that fill. But appreciate you coming on like always, Ryan, and knocking it out.
Real quick, Michael, the symbol for the solar ETF is TAN.
TAN.
TAN, Tango Alpha November. I will say here, this MOS, this was a great spot. That punch through 50 here. This thing went another $1.25. So there was it was a little bit slower today. We still found some good opportunity, and we're gonna be right back at this again tomorrow, right, Mitch?
Yep. But looks like they want me to cowlick that hair down, man.
Me?
Someone in JD said, "Get my man a comb. I'll cowlick that down." That's the hair indicator for me. Yeah,
Still not as good as the triple D. Is that what you mean? The DDD hair indicator?
Yeah, they like to do the hair indicators on us, Ryan. So what does the hair indicator tell us, JD?
I don't know.
Is it out of control? Is it control? We got to learn the hair indicator from Ryan. We have a hair indicator on triple D. I wish I had the hair so I could have the indicator, but no indicator for me. Usually it's just me being a little bit confused, but we'll see what happens. Like always,
we'll come up with something. I'm open to that. Problem.
We have the Zunaid closet indicator. We will have the Ryan hair indicator. What are we going to have for Money Mitch? You guys let me know. We got to have an indicator for me too.
Well,
all right.
It could be Hendrix related. Really quick, I just want to thank Jeff G's for shouting out the happy hour. You don't just catch me. Happy hour is the Benzinga Pro community, including Jeff, who often has good things to say. So catch us later. You should see the notification bar in the bottom of Benzinga Pro.
All right. That's going to be it for Ryan. Thank you, like always, Ryan, for joining us. And we'll see you tomorrow, my friend. Hit the thumbs on up. Let's go. All right, guys, let's keep it going. Let's keep battling here in the markets. If you guys got a stock to take a look at, definitely throw it up in the chat. I'm going to be going through stocks in the chat, trying to finish this AMC trade. We'll see what happens there. But like always, guys, smash the like if you guys are enjoying the content today and getting something out of live trading, because that's really what it is all about, is giving value back to you guys. And if you're getting value, smash that like. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. Can we get the last little push here? One of the things that I always look at is the rule of three, and a good way to kind of keep the trend. I know a lot of people like to do kind of trailing stops, and that's not a bad look, because technically that's a good way to approach stops, right? But I like to do more trend lines. If the stock can continue the trend line on any pullback, I like these moves. So these also give you opportunities for re-entry or adds or subtracts off the trade. And so for me, I could start drawing this trend line and connecting up the trends. And so you could see these wicks here. You try to connect them. 3 kind of gives you that full complete trend line. So you want to make sure that it's holding those pullbacks to, let's say, 1850s now, and trying to make sure that it doesn't get below that 1850 for your out. That keeps you the maximum potential on your return, and how you guys can be watching and following these types of trades. So I'm going to actually paint this line red for us to understand that, hey, if we do close below that, we should be getting on out. But if we can keep the trend, it's not a bad way to kind of approach it to maximize the gains here. All right, what's going on out there, guys? NQ about to go into the green. We'll see what happens out there. Vader voice Mitch. Bedhead indicator. Let's keep going. There's a lot of stocks being thrown on out there. I will get through some of these stocks. Let's go. Let's go. Looks like Visa is one of the ones that I'm seeing multiple mentions on. I'm going to try to put this on the multiple chart so we can keep an eye out, make sure that we're not going to get below that level. Let's go for the 3 chart look. Square pushing strong, guys. SPY pushing strong. Just got through the bullish sense of 434. So if you're in those bullish moves, I don't feel bad about it. We just saw a close on AMC below 850s. So what I would do is now you draw that line here and you say, okay, 1843 was the out there. We need to recover the 1850s immediately on this 1 minute. If not, I'm getting out of the trade. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep taking a look. I'm going to watch that on the top chart here, but I'm also going to take a look at to see if we can find some other trades on out there. If you're looking at what's into the green, remember at 1.48 technology was actually deep into the red. Now we're back into the green. Take a look at Maxar. Maxar was one that we were looking at pre-market. Got to give a shout out to CJ Vick. If you're not here, CJ, hey, Well, power to you. I'll take a look at Visa right now, Holly, but Maxar was a stock that he was looking at this morning, so I got to give him a shout out. Look at that move. This was a stock, satellite imagery stock, and it's just pushed right out the gates. We had this line drawn. I did like the look this morning, and it pushed on up there. Maxar, big move. FCL, big move. Let's take a look at that Visa for Holly. That's bouncing on up today. If you look at the hourly chart, at least it's holding hourly pullbacks. I think if it can hold this shadow spot, this gap down, you're looking well. You've gotten a couple clicks down there at 215.50s. Make sure the 215s hold. For me, I think if 215s hold, you're still looking good in Visa. All right, let's keep going. I got some other stocks being called out in the chat. I'm going to keep going through it. Quantum talking about LMT, of course, defensive stock, looking for aerospace and defensives to keep moving. It's been doing well, this trade. So if you've been taking that LMT trade, I can't blame you. That's been a decent trade, that's for sure. Energy doing well today. That means oil ripping, guys. INDO is one that I'd keep on watch for maybe a potential move, big move to start pushing on up. This one's been lagging all morning long. Look for volume to come in and push it above VWAP. And if you take a look, you got a deeper time frame type of trade here that I don't see it as a bad trade. If you look here on the hourly, you've been trying to hold above here. So if you kind of draw here a support, 1350 being the support. You've been trying to break back on out through this line here. Let's see if we can get on up there. That's a $15 breakout for INDO. I know this one's a big mover. Could get moving today. Just keep it on radar. All right, I'm going to keep going through some stocks here. What is going on? Up, solar is up. Electric gaming and multimedia having a good day. C Limited having a really good day. 8% day already on above $140 stock. You don't see that often. So if you guys like that trade, definitely check that on out. That's SE. C Limited, NCTY doing really well right now. The 9 Limited pushing on up there, trying to get through 4. We'll see if that can continue making moves. Bounce back in skills right now. I really don't like that one that much, but hey, it's always what you guys like out there. Roblox also getting on up there towards 51. We'll see if that can continue making moves. Unity setting on up for a breakout. We'll see if those can continue making moves. Software and application names doing well today. Clean Spark, one of those big movers. MTTR, Matterpoint. You guys that like the 3D kind of metaverse space, this one's looking well today and trying to push through that 767s. We'll see if we can get that final lift there in AMC. I am getting a call out in a cheaper stock, Outlet. Outlet is one that I was taking a look at for a potential long-term trade off the $1. But hey, I've been missing out on this one. I'm just going to continue working. Just wanted to notice that I did get the alert there. AMC watching again. Let's see if we get this final lift. So a lot of times I look for what? A recovery of that 50. We got that recovery of 50, but now we need to see the breakout above 1870s. Below this 1847 is just going to go ahead and get us on out. We want to see a break above 1870s and get on up there to our profit target. Break of that 1843, no matter what, we would take the profit. All right, let's keep it going, guys. Want to go ahead and bring in some reggae here near the last 10 minutes of the show. We're going to get out of here at 11. Need some likes, guys. I only see 302 likes. Get us up to 400, and let's keep going in here. Stocks from the chat are rolling through, so time for me to keep rolling. Let's go. Let's go. Visa already mentioned, Joel, so you can take a look at that. Tesla being mentioned out there. Double downing in Tesla, says Kathy. Not a bad move if you're double downing in Tesla. I mean, it's not the worst one to go off of right now off the daily chart. You got a strong hold of 800, so you know your risk on the downside. I'm sure that's what she's looking at. Now she's starting to push there, trying to get it towards 900 of a resistance. All right, we're right there on AMC. I'm keeping a close eye on it. We'll see if it breaks through here on the downside. If not, I'm going to look for that reversal right back on up there through the 1860s and breaking on out, getting us a top profit. Actually canceling out the order that I had at 1870s here to get ready if I do need to get on out of the trade. Tesla's not doing too bad there. Let's keep it going. GT being mentioned by Bourne. That's Goodyear Tire having a decent day. Look for that to kind of continue moving. I do like the red to green. I'd look for maybe a VWAP pullback to kind of keep in play there. All right, looking at this AMC right now, about to get on out there. boom, I'm out there. I took the last little profits there. 1840s, not going to get the 1870s. Got close there. We got 1868. A little annoyed that I didn't get the top profit there in AMC, but hey, can't be upset. We broke the line. We broke my trend. I'm not going to battle it here. I'll take the last little profit right there, and it's a good trade. Pat myself on the back and keep moving on, guys. Keep moving on. Not a bad trade there, AMC. INTC by the thinker. Let's keep going. All right, we got about 10 minutes left, guys. Smash on up. Let's keep the vibes going and the good juju here in Intel. Nice, not a bad looking trade there. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Daily chart has a nice kind of bottoming action, trying to get on up there through the 48s today. Could get through the 48s. I just am not liking this trade the most, just because there's some heavy resistance above it. But hey, if you like Intel, it's definitely on a kind of big pullback. Could find the trend again. The trend is right above it around the 48s. Square is killing it. Yes, it is killing it. Maxar, Starlink stock. Keep going. Luna plug being mentioned in the chat. Let's go for that. Plug probably doing well with that FSIL trade. Also doing well today. Yeah, it looks good here. Held the red to green pullback. Pushed on up through VWAP. Then held VWAP on the pullback. Now trying to take out the highs. One of the things that I would do is I would draw a resistance line from the pre-market high. Make sure that you hold it on pullbacks around the 2460s to see if plug wants to continue making moves. AMC turning a little bit around there, so maybe I just caught the dip and got on out. But on the time frame that I was in for a scalp on the 1 minute, that was my breakdown line. On the 5 or 15, you're probably sticking around for this trade. But hey, that's how I went to look at it. Not a bad trade there, AMC. Open being mentioned. All right. Open door has been really struggling as of late. Let's see what it's doing today. Yeah, bouncing back a little bit. It's kind of just a bounce back move after being really oversold. Let's keep going. PL, yes, that's Planet. It could be one that definitely moves with Maxar. So let's see how it's moving today. Yep, it is moving on up. Another one you could take a look at is Black Sky. This is really, honestly, in the long term, I think this is the one that wins in the satellite companies. But that's just because I've done my research. I'll see what happens in the Black Sky. But it's been a failure, as you could tell, guys. $2 right now. This is stock that opened above 10. We'll see what happens on this one. PL is another one to keep it on watch. It is bouncing back there today. Holly says she's short Tesla. Hey, power to you, whatever you like. Can you go over Lyft, says DD. I got you. You guys see me touch one of the stocks that you guys like, definitely throw the likes on up. All right, guys, we'll see if Lyft can kind of get on up here through the 40s. That's the level that I would look for. Nice recovery. Multiple bottoms in this area, so you could start choosing your level to go off of on the weekly. I would probably pull down here towards the support around 36.54. Look for pullbacks closer towards that, using maybe 36 as my out, or maybe even 34.50s. Looking for a pushback towards 50. It's not a bad approach if you're looking for this to come on back. The real question is, does it hold these pullbacks now that you've gotten and get back above 40? Every time you've gotten above 40, you've seen the wicks there. So let's see if you get through that and you don't get selling pressure at those moments. BA being mentioned. All right, guys, we got about 6 minutes left here. Going to get you some futures content here with Spencer Israel. We'll see if this can kind of catch this pullback here. 200 pullback on Boeing is definitely a level to keep on watch. If you take a look at the monthlies, look how you got multiple bottoms now near that 200. I'd make sure that 200 kind of holding there. So maybe using 194 as the risk, looking for it to come back, is not a bad approach in Boeing, because you have a tight risk to reward. If it gets on back there, let's say towards 250, that's about a 20% win. Towards the high is about a 33% win. And you'd be risking about right now, probably about 5 to 6% on the name to get a 23 and a 30% move on up, not a bad approach in the risk to return. All right, Palantir as a war stock. I mean, I definitely don't see it as a war stock, but I mean, that's up to you guys to determine. Mara being mentioned in the chat. Mara's doing decent there. All right, Mara had a good day. Let's see if it can continue trending. I do like this 5-minute trend that you're getting into. You're really pushing on up. Look for maybe pullbacks and make sure that they hold. That's the hourly chart. And so from here on out, I would make sure that you don't get back through that 23 on the downside. But it is looking good there if you guys got Mara today. Looks like AMC did fake me out a little bit there, guys. Now getting on up there to the 68, the 69s. This is where we would be getting on out if we had a deeper time frame. But this is not a bad move there. Guys, completed move there from the flag. We tried to call it out exactly to it. We'll see if that one can get above 1875s. Good day there for AMC and the apes. CrowdStrike jumping. Yeah, that's a good one there. There's AMC getting through there. The 1880s showing on up. Maybe gets through even 19 today. Not a bad trade there. CrowdStrike making a huge move today. Nice VWAP bounces. 3 holds of VWAP. This could have been a great trade today. We were looking at it in pre-market prep. Not a bad move there. CrowdStrike. All right, go ahead, and I'm going to start wrapping on up here. Take a look at some other trades that are being mentioned. I know that there's so many stocks being mentioned in the chat. Let's keep it going. You're being invaded. What is going on out there, guys? Yes, has been a bad investment, that's for sure. Black Sky. The chat rolls by while he speaks. He has no hope of catching the questions. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard, guys. Palantir does intensive work from U.S. military. Definitely puts it into the category of a war relative stock. Yeah, I just solar. The problem with Palantir, and if you got to ask yourself, what does the stock do, or what is it doing? A lot of retail traders, I can tell you, are just confused on Palantir. They know it's data, but they don't know necessarily how they're making their money. They just don't. I feel like people just don't understand Palantir. That fake out was real. Yeah, man. I'm not stressing it though. You don't see me like hurting. It's okay. AMC can keep going. We took a good profit there. You can't be mad. What's up with all banks down? Perfect example. Let's talk about this. This is something that I would talk about on Money Mitch. And I'll be talking about it on Money Mitch today. Why are the banks down? The banks are down because I think that, at least in my eyes, they're seeing this as that they're not going to get the rate hikes that they expected. Some people were expecting maybe a potential of a 0.5 rate hike. I think that might be off the table now, but are they going to get a rate hike at all? I think that's even what the banks are starting to question. We'll see if these can continue holding their lows, but that's why they pushed up on kind of Friday, right? Because at least the rates were coming back into play. But it's been a battle. If you see banks were down significantly on Thursday, then up significantly on Friday. Now you're back down. It's essentially kind of in an inside day. So it's not a bad thing, but you wouldn't want to see it get below this low, 43.63, and you did get below that one to 43.44. We'll see what happens in these. It's definitely a confusing trade there in banks. The same way I felt this morning, right? I felt confused, guys. I mean, if I take a look at it, some of the oil trades were going up with the SPY, then the SPY was coming down, then you got defensives moving on up. It was just a real confusing market, and that's why I'm happy that I kept a lot of my money to bay today. Still was able to make a nice trade, but at the same time, didn't get overreacting to some of these moves. You should have left half, my man, on... no, I mean, it was a scalp type of trade. It wasn't a swing type of trade. If it was a swing trade, I would have taken it there with a smaller share size and just let the trade work for the daily level And that's all you got to do. Just determine what time frame you're in. Don't be worried about getting the maximum gain, because I mean, at the end of the day, no one can get max. The only thing you can do is set yourself up to get in the max. Fubo TV up. I don't like Fubo right now, guys. I just don't like it. I think it is bouncing, but I just don't like the moves the business has been making. I mean, it is significantly lower. It's lower than the IPO low, so maybe you're going after it at a good time there, Fubo. We'll see if it comes back, but right now, I don't like it the most. All right, Discovery, maybe look for that one to kind of catch a bid there. I've been looking for that one to really start moving here. I've looked at the weekly, looking for this one to catch on up, back through 28, back through the 30s. We'll see if this can get moving here. I'm going to definitely keep this one on radar, but I do like the approach here. Discovery can get back towards 20. Reopening trades, how did we do on those today? AAL is essentially sideways right now. Let's take a look at the daily. It's actually down a little bit. CCL also sideways. We'll see if these can push on up by the end of the day. Technology, not doing too bad. Having a significant day on up. We'll see if these can continue making moves. Like always, guys, smash the like. I'm going to wrap on up here. Get you guys over to some futures action. Before you go, please, guys, do me the favor. Smash the like. Hit the comments. Tell me what you like most about live trading so that we can do more of just that. Let's go ahead. We'll wrap on up. See you next time, guys. Smash on up. Let's keep it going. Up next, futures talk. Go find out about some futures. I even need to learn about some futures. Let's keep it going here. Like always, smash on up, guys.